So a few years back, the ICAA put together a program in New York working with young students to educate them about architecture. We saw that as a great opportunity for us to explore something like that here locally. And 2 years ago, we implemented this program with the Alamo Heights School District here in San Antonio. It's one thing to do an academic presentation. It's another to actually engage them into something that is creative activity. They're so intrigued by all of this. A lot of them, they're seeing it for the first time. It's really an eye-opening experience for them.
We share foundations in classical design with them, of not just showing a column or showing a piece of architecture and talking about that, but showing where it came from and why it matters and how it has evolved over time, and how as designers we see ourselves as part of this continuum. We see ourselves as people telling a story in what we build, and we're really just working on the next chapter.
Our firm is known for classical, traditional design work. What do we do as professionals? What are the key elements that we use, and how can we communicate that to these students? The sort of culmination of the hands-on experience, though, for the students really happens in the day-long field trip that we take exploring the city.
My favorite part of the class was the field trip. It really inspired me to just draw and really get into architecture. Every building I saw, I just wanted to sit down and sketch because it was just so beautiful, because I don't really pay attention to everything around me, but once I put my phone away and I just stopped talking, I really looked at the building and I just saw how beautiful it was. So that was probably my favorite part.
We're teaching them to be critical thinkers and making connections and making observations. And so even if they might have been to one of these iconic buildings in the past, we're teaching them to look at it in a new way and to try to learn about the history and how that history can inform us as people and as designers.
I've been the executive director of AI San Antonio, the local chapter of the American Institute of Architects, for the last 25 years. And certainly one of my great pleasures is watching young people discover architecture and connect to it as young professionals. The work that I've seen coming out of this program is exciting. Students are learning to look and to see and to understand how parts and pieces of buildings come together to make spaces for community. And certainly their work with watercolor and sketching is really fantastic.
Architecture is important because it's the backdrop of our lives, and designers have a responsibility to design in a way that's meaningful and in a way that matters. And how can we look to the past, or look to culture, or look to who we are as a means of inspiration and as a means of telling a story?
Education has always been one of my personal passions, and this gave me an opportunity to go back to that in both the creation of this program here locally, and then hopefully growing that and getting it spread to other cities within the state.